In this demonstration, I'm going to show you how to save your Photoshop file, as well as the types of things that I'm looking for in the file in order to get the best grade. The first thing I'm looking for is that you have 3 layers. There's a background layer and 2 different photographs. This is Robert De Niro, and that's Scarlett Johansson. What I'm looking for is to be able to see the background as well as both faces. Another thing that I'm looking for is that the faces fill up most of the screen but still allow you to see some of the background on either side of their heads. I'm looking that you erased from the mask and not from the photograph. So when you did the erasing, you're erasing from the mask, which shows up over here. Each layer should be labeled. This is Robert, that's Scarlett. When you save your file, do File, Save As. You're going to navigate to where your folders are. Your folders should be set up in your Documents folder. They should be set up by period number. So here's P2_JWING. Yours will have your first initial last name on it. Otherwise, if you're in period 5, it'll be P5_JWING, or in whatever your case is, your name on there. Inside that folder should be a folder called Merge. And inside the Merge folder are your files that you've saved from Google and your desktop and anywhere else. Photos that you've taken and uploaded to your computer. The file name is JWING_merge.psd. And here this should be set to Photoshop. Save the file. Then you can quit Photoshop by hitting Command Q or going up to the menu and saying File, Photoshop, quit Photoshop. The file that I just saved is in my P2 folder. I'm getting these pull-down menus by holding the Command key on the desktop and clicking on where it says Documents here. This goes back several levels so that I can go all the way back to the hard drive and see my folder hierarchy. I'm going to click on Documents, P2, Merge, and this is where my file is. Then I'm going to go to my Google Drive, log into Google. You can do that if you're not already in it. You can go drive.google.com. If you're not already signed in, you need to sign in. And then here's the same folder on my Google Drive. Your Google Drive folders should be set up the same way that your desktop folders are set up. So inside your Google Drive folder, it'll say My Drive, and then there will be a P2_MMD+YB_first initial last name. If you don't already have a folder in here, click on New, Folder. Title the folder, in this case I'm going to do a P5 folder. P5_MMD+YB. That stands for Multimedia Design and Yearbook. I'm going to create that. Inside that folder, there's going to be another folder. If there's not one in there, create a new one. This one's going to be called Merge. In this case, I'm going to add my first initial and last name to it so that when I save that folder, if I share it with anyone, it'll have the name on it and I'll be able to tell whose folder it is. So now I have a folder called Merge. Each project that you have is going to have its own folder. Up here at the top it shows the path to this folder. So My Drive, P5, I'm just double clicking, and that's the folder. It's currently empty. So I've opened up a window on my desktop where the file is currently residing, and I have separate folders for P2 and P5 with that same folder in there, or that same file in there. If you have a whole list of files and you know which one your PSD file is, you can hold down the Control key and click on the file, get this menu, and can actually color it. So you can label it so that this dot shows up next to the file, and that's the one you want to upload. I'm going to upload it by simply dragging it into this window. You'll see the menu down here at the bottom. Drop files to instantly upload them to merge_JWING. You'll see this dialog box with the progress bar. As soon as it's finished uploading, you'll see this dialog box here. You can close this and close this. So now my file exists where it's supposed to be in Google Drive, and my Google Drive is set up, the folder hierarchy is set up exactly the same as it is on my desktop. Currently, the only file I have in here is the merge file, which is the Photoshop file. If you want to put your other files in here too to save them for later, you can do that by just clicking on them and dragging them in. If you want to do more than one, you can either click on one of them at the bottom, hold the Shift key down and click on the top, and then just drag all of those in here. If you only want to do individual ones, you can click on one and then hold down the Command key and select individual ones like this without it being a contiguous selection. And then the same thing, I can drag and drop those in here and upload them. After all the progress bars are finished uploading the file, you can close this, close this. Now you need to share this folder with me. So I'm going to go all the way back to my drive, click here, and I want you to share the root folder. So if you're in period 2, share this folder with me. If you're in period 5, share this folder with me. Notice how it does not have my name on it. So I'm going to hold the Control key down again, not to be confused with the Command key. Hold the Control key down, click on the file, and say Rename. And then I'm going to add an _JWING to it. Make sure that this is your name and not mine. What'll happen is I'll get 70 or 80 of these files, and if it doesn't have your name on here, I don't know who it is. Click OK. It's renamed the file. Now, in order to share this folder with me, I'm not interested necessarily in your entire drive. So if you're in period 2, click on the period 2 folder. If you're in period 5, click on the period 5 folder. It should be named like that. Then go over to this icon right here and click and share. Type in my email address, jwing2@sandy.net. Click down in here and add your name. If you want to add a note, I just typed in jwing's merge file and click send. Now I've used this is another login for my Google. This is my personal account. You can, if you roll over the picture, you can actually see it says jwings@yahoo.com. That's another one of my email addresses where I use storage on Google Drive. And I've used that just for demonstration purposes so that you can see how to upload and share your files with me. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Otherwise, I should expect to see your folders in my email sometime this week.